A nice little quirk about being a content creator is when you spend just hours of your life just pouring your heart and your soul into creating something that you think is just really visually stunning and has tremendous production value, and you're really proud of it. And then the video drops and the first comment you get is, "Why the long intro, bro?" Well, let's talk about it. Hey, what's up, bookworms? Mike here with just a little quick hit today, and there's another one of those questions that I get quite frequently. I talked recently about, common questions that I get on the channel. One of the most common criticisms I get is, why are your intros so long? And here's the thing, longtime viewers, they seem to appreciate the intros, because you can go all the way back to April of 2019 when I started this channel, my very first Wheel of Time video. I have this long intro about why I decided to read the series, and then when I did my first review for The Eye of the World, I decided I was going to do like a reading excerpt from the book over some art and some music, because I thought it helped you set the tone. So these are things I feel like people who have been here for a long time, they've come accustomed to, and in fact, they really appreciate those intros. They love them. They say that they give them goosebumps and things like that, and that's awesome. That's really, really cool. But the Kindle videos that I did got a lot of new viewers on the channel, and they decided to check out some of the other content, and they just seemed confused about why I would put, a 2.5 minute reading excerpt before I would put the actual review of a book. And I get it's a valid question. I understand why it's there, so I just kind of want to address it. This isn't me doing a shoot on anybody about why you're stupid or anything like that. I'm just explaining why I choose to do it this way. Here's the thing: is I started including timestamps at the beginning of my video so people could skip that, and they were still complaining about it. So I decided, okay, I'm going to just make a video and address this head on. When I used to podcast, I podcasted for about a decade. And for 3 years, I ran a podcast called Geek Media Core, which was just talking about all the media that was happening during the week. It was just like a weekly podcast. We talk about everything that happened in media, movies, TV, video games, music, comics, any of that kind of stuff. And what I'd always do before each episode is I would take some sound bites of things that happened all during the week, be it something from a line from a TV show, something from an interview or something, and I would put that together over some music. And I thought it was a good way to, just like a minute long, to kind of set the tone of what we were going to talk about that episode. And it was something that I felt like people always really appreciated. So when I started doing the BookTube channel, I thought, I want to do that because I want the intros to these reviews to kind of demonstrate to the viewer how I felt reading those passages. So I meticulously choose the music, I choose the art that I want to use, and then I just, while I'm reading a book, I will highlight a quote that I really like and think, okay, I think that that's something that I really want to put together. So I'll take all these quotes that I pull from a book, try to put them in some kind of narrative order to make it sound like it could be one conversation or just kind of an overall feeling for that book. So, I mean, they're on almost every review that I've done on this channel. So when someone tells me, hey, that intro gave me goosebumps, that was fire, like my Why You Should Read Wheel of Time one, way more positive responses to that intro for that than the negative ones, but there were a lot of negative ones. And again, I understand you're going to get negative feedback, and I'm not against that. I am all here for criticism. I'm just trying to explain to people why I do that and why I'm probably not going to stop doing it. I put the big, bright, flashing thing at the beginning of the videos now that say timestamps in description, and people still don't use them. So I just kind of want to get this out there. The reason that I like to do this not only is to give people a feeling of how I felt when I was reading the book, but also it lets me live out my lifelong dream of working for Audible as a book narrator. Yes, I would love to work for Audible and read books, audio books or something like that. I feel like I get such good practice with my kid. When I'm reading to him, I have different voices. He demands that my voices all be different for different characters and things like that because I've spoiled him. And to the point that where he won't even read it himself now. He wants me to read it to him that way because I do the voices and I do the sound effects and I do all the acting and stuff. He appreciates that because it's something that I've always liked to do. My wife used to give me a hard time because I'd be, hey, I want to read this one passage to you of this book that I really liked. And she'd be like, wow, you put way too much effort into that just now when you could have just told me what this. So again, it's just a little quirk about me. It's something that I like to do. Why? I enjoy it. I feel like it's something that kind of makes this BookTube channel unique from some of the other reviewers out there. So as far as I know, there aren't a lot of other booktubers who do that. I get direct messages, I get emails, I get all kinds of things that people ask me all the time. I really like that. Would you mind if I do that on my channel? And I'm like, I don't own the rights to talk to quoting a book over some music. So absolutely, do what works for you. So if that's inspired others, that's great. And again, the feedback on this is highly positive. I just want to let newer viewers know that this is kind of why I've always chose to do it that way, because nothing sucks more as a content creator when you spend that much time on something and the first comment that you get is, the review starts at 4:23, you know, if you want to skip the boring intro, things like that. That sucks. That really does suck. I understand they aren't for everybody, but again, that's all you had out of the, the 30-minute review I just gave. If that's all you have to give me feedback on is that the review doesn't start for, the first 4 minutes, that sucks. It really sucks as a content creator. So I want to kind of talk about that. And again, you guys, if you're one of those people who just want a quick 6-minute review with tons of cuts, jump cuts, and humor and over-the-top stuff, I've always said I'm probably not the channel you're looking for. There's plenty of BookTube channels like that. There are some really great BookTube channels who do that. I'm not saying that those are bad channels. I'm saying that's never going to be anything that I do. I've just actually started doing some cuts, just editing out parts where I really ramble, and I feel like some of those videos have dragged on. So I like to try to do this in one cut. Like I said, I like to treat this as like I'm talking to you at a bar about why I love a book, and I'm giving you my sales pitch for it, or why you should read it, why you shouldn't read it, what was good about it, what was bad about it, what's it just about. That's how I've always treated this. I don't like to go off. I don't go off a script. I get some notes here on my iPad, just bullet points, probably 20 words of things. So I remember to talk to you about everything. And that's just kind of how I've always run my channel. And I'm going to keep doing the intros. Yes, as the channel grows, this is a common question I get from subscribers. So I wanted to hit on that. And I will keep putting the timestamps in all the descriptions here going forward if that's something that you aren't into. If you are, if you're fine with it, hey, then no harm, no foul. But I kind of wanted to address it. I say that I'm not going to probably stop doing this anytime soon. What I am going to do is if it's a series that I don't feel like gets a ton of traffic on the channel, I probably won't do that for the sequels. I'll just do it for like the setup or the why you should read one. So I'll probably be doing it a little less than I do now. But for some of the more popular series, yeah, I'm going to keep doing that because it's something that when I'm reading a book, I'm like, oh, I can't wait to make the intro for this because this quote and this quote and this quote are just awesome. And, there's some really awesome fan art out there for things like these. So it's something I'll probably keep doing just maybe at a lesser extent than I used to. But again, I hope that answers your question of why I do that. This has always been something that I found a lot of fun, and it goes back to my podcast days. So I'm repeating myself now, so I'm going to go ahead and roll out. But any questions about why I do the intros like I do, if you hate them, leave me a comment. If you love them, leave me a comment. Everything, no wrong answers always, as I always say. So hit me in the comments, guys. Give me some feedback. I love to do what the people want. So if you want more or less of these, let me know. But again, I just kind of want to let you know why I do it. And Audible, give me a call.